Before we delve into the rich past of this iconic kingdom, let's whet our appetite with a teaser of the impressive accomplishments. From humble beginnings, the Ashantis united numerous tribes and expanded their territory through shrewd diplomacy and warfare. They challenged European encroachers into inflicting stunning defeats on the British Army itself. Gold and kola nuts enriched the empire coffers for centuries. Yet, while many other African civilizations crumble in the face of colonialism, these intrepid people fought tooth and nail to preserve independence and heritage. So how did a small Akan tribe transform itself into an empire that made even empires shake in their boots? What secret lie behind the legend of the Golden Stool? And how on earth did they convince the cash-strapped British to pay dues for stepping on the Ashanti land? Well, all these tantalizing questions and many more will be answered right here now. So grab some kola nuts, settle into your comfiest stool, and let's unravel the riveting story of the Ashantis. The origin of the Ashanti people. As with all great empires, we must begin at the beginning. In the 16th and 17th centuries, various Akan clans migrated into the dense rainforest island for the Atlantic coast of present-day Ghana. Struggling to survive in this unfamiliar environment, several of these displaced groups banded together as one tribe, calling themselves Ashanti, or people of the Ashan. As legend goes, this sacred seed descended magically from the heavens, landing in the lap of the first Asantehene, or King Osei Tutu. His myth symbolized the unity of all Ashanti people under one supreme ruler. In 1680, the fetish priest Okomfo oversaw a traditional ceremony, establishing Kumasi as the capital of the embryonic Ashanti nation. Surrounded by loyal war chiefs, the priest planted a tree at the site, predicting Ashanti greatness when it bore fruit. Lo and behold, just years later, the tree miraculously flowered, vindicating Anayoke's prophecy of power. Buoyant by his divine sign, the ambitious Ashantis now yearn to fulfill their destiny through military and commercial supremacy over their neighbors. The Ashanti origin story blends history and myth in equal measure. But behind the legends lies the story of displaced people who banded together out of the hardship and, guided by inspired leadership, will achieve greatness within their lifetime. Rise of the Ashanti Empire. The Ashanti wasted no time in making their priest promises a reality. In 1701, a dynamic 90-year-old leader named Osei Tutu inherited the Golden Stool along with dreams of an Ashanti empire spanning from coast to coast. Tutu and his brilliant chief priest Okomfo forged alliances with neighboring Denkira and Akwaimu tribe through marriages of state. Then in one of the history's most audacious diplomatic coup, Anokie convinced Akwaimu soldiers on loans to the Ashantis to switch sides permanently. Swelling the ranks with this defeated troop, Tutu declared war on their former allies, the Denkirias, converting the later gold-field and trading route. The Blitz invaded, left in smoking ruins, paving the way for Ashanti's occupation of this mineral-rich land. Through such conquest, Tutu centralized power across his domains, gaining direct control over gold production and kola nuts trade. By his premature death in 1717, Tutu had quadrupled the size and influence of Ashanti territory, leaving a daunting legacy for a successor to live up to. Alas, Tutu's departure sparked a vicious power struggle that threatened to undo all his achievements. Order was restored when Opoku Ware emerged victorious and continued expanding Ashanti borders in all directions through further conquest of neighboring tribes. By mid-18th century, the Grand Empire of Ashanti spanned over 250 square kilometers and subjected various vassal states to supply taxes, tributes, and levies. At its peak, Ashanti could even influence policy making along the Atlantic coastline through the ties of trade and diplomacy. Truly, Tutu's one fantastical dream has transformed into a living, breathing empire, trading, networks, and economic. The Ashanti economic engine was fueled by two natural resources in abundance: gold and kola nut. Rich deposits of the precious metal supply local craftsmen and artists with raw material for creating stunning works of art. Ashanti gold also seduced European traders who offer firearms, fabric, and other foreign goods in exchange at coastal fortresses. By taxing this bustling trading, the empire filled its coffer with British pound sterling and Dutch gulden. Controlling production and taxing distribution of these valuables enabled ambitious projects like expanding the capital Kumasi into a metropolitan hub or bankrolling military campaign against weaker neighbors. By leveraging seemingly mundane items like gold dust and nuts into economic and political capital, the Ashanti perfected the business of empire building. Resistance to British colonialism. Despite cordial ties with European fort merchants, the unstoppable Ashanti war machine finally met its match against the technological and military juggernaut of Imperial Britain. As Britain annexed coastal areas in early 1800s, they increasingly pressured the Ashantis for control over interior lands as well. A series of treaties signed under duress by local kings sparked growing Ashanti anger at this aggressive British tactic. Matter came to head in 1823 when an imperious British government insultingly demanding the sacred Golden Stool as repayment for supposed debt owed to the crown. Enraged Ashanti elders immediately began mobilizing for war to defend their land, dignity, and soul against foreign encroachment. Britain drastically underestimated Ashanti's military prowess and paid a heavy price for its hubris. In 1824, their invasion force was disseminated, with the governor and hundreds of troops perishing miserably in tropical heat even before meeting the enemy. This emphatic victory allowed Ashantis to consolidate power and even threaten British coastal possessions. However, for all their ingenuity, valor, and familiarity with terrain, the Ashantis struggled to match ever-improving British firepower over prolonged conflict. Half a century of bloody struggle saw seesaw fortunes for both sides. A crushing 1874 defeat finally forced the Ashantis to make concessions, allowing Britain to burn Kumasi and formally colonize Ashanti land. Though ultimately defeated, proud Ashantis distinguished themselves as the African kingdom most stubbornly resistant to European imperialism. For decades, they managed to defend the sovereignty and solidarity of a once mighty empire against the relentless tide of colonialism washing down the continent. Despite the challenges, the spirit of the Ashanti people endured. Following the restoration of the Ashanti monarchy, the empire adapted to the changing world, from embracing education and Christianity to participating at the fight for Ghana's independence. The Ashanti people showcased their resilience and determination. The Ashanti Kingdom remains an integral part of Ghana's cultural fabric. The story of the Ashanti Empire captivates us with its triumph and challenges, its golden thread woven into the rich tapestry of history. It reminds us that even in the darkest time, human spirits can shine bright. The Ashanti people's ability to preserve their cultural identity and adapt to changing times serve as an inspiration for us all. Their legacy continues to shape modern-day Ghana, a testament to the empire's enduring impact. So let us celebrate the Ashanti Empire, a tale of golden splendor and the unyielding spirit, and honor the people who etched their names in the annal of history. May their story continue to inspire generations to come. So, what lesson can we learn from the Ashanti Empire ability to preserve and adapt their cultural identity in the face of adversity? How has the legacy of the Ashanti Empire influenced modern-day Ghana in its cultural landscape? Let us know in the comments below. Ready for more royal intrigue and timeless tale? Check out the next video on screen to uncover another fascinating chapter in history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all things royal. See you in the next video.